Chelsea, we were talking during the break. I gotta go down and get some coffee. I said last week that I bought a bunch of coffee from the store, but I didn't check to see if it was ground coffee. So I have coffee beans, and I've been eating the coffee beans individually instead of walking less than 2 blocks around the corner and just getting some ground coffee like a normal human. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm just being a bachelor is all I'm doing. I'm just like, whatever, I'll eat these beans. But it's not a hard ask. And you were saying you can actually buy what? Iced coffee in bulk?
Well, it's pre-made iced coffee and it comes in like I don't think it's a gallon, but maybe it's like a half gallon. So literally all you have to do is pour it over ice and there you go. Iced coffee is made by Starbucks, Dunkin', a bunch of other brands. So for me, someone who does not enjoy hot coffee, especially when the weather is warm, that is the route to do it because if we had normal hours, I would just order Starbucks, and I would walk down the street and get it. But
Yeah.
Starbucks isn't open at 3:30 a.m. So that is the route that I have to do. But Jinx, we've all had these Sundays where usually Sundays for me are a time to prepare for the week and kind of get all of the grunt work out of the way. Yesterday, I didn't do any of that. The house is a mess, didn't get groceries. So like you, I am starting the week on the worst foot. Got to get some stuff done today.
This is what you do. You say, hey, honey, we're less than 24 hours away from Mother's Day. Do you think you could do the dishes? Weren't you saying that Jake will put away the dishes? This is brilliant, by the way, the wrong way so that he doesn't have to do them. Were you saying something like this?
Well, he does that, but I don't think it's intentional. I think he just doesn't care because we're all particular about certain things. I am like that with the way you put the dishes away and also the way you put the groceries on the conveyor belt. Please put the frozen items with the frozen items. So when you bag them up, it is easier to put them away when you get home. Some people just don't get those concepts. So you got to do it yourself. If you want something done well, you got to do it yourself. And my husband knows that, and he plays into it sometimes.
He's a smart man from everything I'm hearing. I feel like he's playing this just the right way. Coming up next on BetQL Daily, with Joel Embiid back, the Joes and Aaron discuss if the Sixers can come and win a game or two in Miami. Speaking of Joel Embiid, one of the two favorites to win the MVP this season, Chelsa, and now we're just hearing from Woj on ESPN on Twitter, who says Nikola Jokic has just won the MVP in the NBA for the second consecutive season. The Nuggets big man getting it done. All right. If you missed our debate over whether beefy Jets quarterback Zach Wilson can lead the Jets to more than 5 wins, download and subscribe to the Daily Tip wherever you get your podcasts. Zach Wilson trying to beef up and be as bulky as Nikola Jokic, who is the new MVP. Let's find out who we have the most faith in today.
Today's best bets.
Chelsea, I'm looking back at how we did on Friday, and your best bet was a no play because you were on a K prop, but the Mets and Phillies got postponed. I had an over in that game that was also postponed. So we went 1-on-1. You lost your lean. I won my, what do we do here? Oh, no, wait. We went 1-1 on our best bets and lean. So let's try and give the people a 2-0 night. What do you got?
Yeah, looking at a strikeout prop again and taking the under for Guardians starter, Zach Plesac. His number for this game is 4.5 strikeouts. I'm hitting the under for -116 because guess what? He hasn't hit this number in a single game this year. Yes, it's a low number, but looking at the White Sox, they're one of the least strikeout-prone teams in all of baseball. And going back to the last 11 starts for opposing pitchers against the White Sox, only one pitcher has hit over 5 strikeouts in 11 games against the White Sox. So opposing starters are not faring very well against the White Sox bats when it comes to strikeouts. And looking at Zach Plesac, last season against the White Sox, he didn't hit this in 3 of 4 appearances against Chicago. And he also just played them a couple weeks ago, only got 3 strikeouts despite having a really good outing, 6 2/3 innings of 1-run ball. So that's the thing. Zach Plesac is not a strikeout pitcher. He is a ground ball pitcher or a guy that's just pitching to contact. Looking at his strikeout numbers, he only has 16 strikeouts in 26 innings of work. Well below a strikeout per 9, or a strikeout per inning. So I'm going to go under a strikeout prop, 4.5 strikeouts for Zach Plesac of the Guardians for -116.
Good luck on that, Chelsea. I keep going back and forth on my best bet. I guess I'm going to give out hockey. I have one lean today, which I'll get to in a second. I'm not crazy about laying a lot of juice, particularly when it gets around minus 150. I get a little nervous here, but I'm going to do it anyway in this one particular spot. Going to Dallas, where the Flames are in town. Calgary, minus 155 on the money line. The Stars are plus 125. Your total set at 5.5. Stars lead this series 2-1. Calgary needs this game. And as good as Dallas has been on defense, particularly with Jake Ettinger in net, Calgary, I just believe, breaks through at some point. They're just so good and so loaded up top with Gaudreau and Kachuk and Lindholm. And credit to the Stars. They've gotten it done defensively. That's what they're known for. They generally play in low-scoring games. But the Flames have outshot the Stars 96-69. At some point, they break through. I think tonight is that night in a game they really need. So give me Calgary on the money line. It's minus 155. Let's get on a hot streak in the stick and puck and the Stanley Cup playoffs, Chelsea. Where's that 8-ball?
Holy crap. Magic 8-ball.
Ooh. Chelsea has the 8-ball. If you want to see Chelsea give the 8-ball the business, all you got to do is go to twitch.tv/BetQL. That's twitch.tv/BetQL. She'll shake up the 8-ball, and we'll find out if the 8-ball is on our side or not. Chelsea, let's get it going.
Jenks, does it look like I'm bowling? I feel like I have on a bowling shirt today, and this kind of looks like a bowling ball. I feel like I'm about to roll a lucky strike. Or what was that horse's name? Racing Strike?
Oh, now you got me messed up.
Red Strike?
It was Rich Strike.
Rich Strike. Nailed it.
Chelsea, before you shake the 8-ball, we need to get you probably a couple of Miller Lights and a cigarette with the ash really long about to fall off as you get ready to roll that ball.
Even though I do like the little hand dryers they have, do you ever get sweaty palms? It would be nice to have one of those little fans to put your hand under occasionally.
So you can shake the 8-ball?
Oh, yes. I need a good grip. I need some finger holes for the 8-ball, but let's do it. Let's get to it. Oh, so starting with mine, Zach Plesac under a strikeout prop of 4.5 for minus 116. 8-ball says it is certain.
Oh, very good. The 8-ball starting the week on a positive note. Maybe the 8-ball was meant to be a bowling ball. Okay, Chelsea, what else?
All right. NHL pick from Jenks. Flames, minus 155 on the money line. 8-ball says, come on. My reply is no.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be my reply is yes in a game. Oh, maybe he doesn't want to be a bowling ball. Maybe we'll drill some holes in that bad boy and maybe change his attitude a little bit. How about that?
God. No, even though my daughter does throw this around like it's a bouncy ball, and it is hard plastic, and I am surprised that it hasn't broken yet.
Well, the old 8-ball says we're going to go 1-1 on our picks. You can tail or fade. If you want to watch the Magic 8-ball, once again, just hop on Twitch, twitch.tv/BetQL. Chelsea, do you have any leans this evening?
No, Your Honor, I do not. I plead the fifth. Jenks, I've been trying to scale back my bets because baseball has been kind of tough for me this year. So I'm trying to be very decisive in my bets. So I'm only playing one thing. I think these NBA games are also kind of tough tonight. And I'm a little burned by the fact that Joel Embiid was, wrecking my prop bet on Friday. So I'm going to stay away from the NBA. Kind of skittish on MLB so far. So do you have any leans?
I have one, and I almost went with this for my best bet. I kept going back and forth, but I stuck with hockey. I'm going over 7.5 runs. Phillies, Mariners. It's a late game out in Seattle. You've got Ranger Suarez going for Philly and Chris Flexen going for Seattle, but opponents are hitting almost 300 against Suarez this season. I know the Mariners have the advantage on the mound going with Flexen, but the Phillies do have a top 10 offense. I think they could have some success here. Also, both of these bullpens are pretty bad. So I'm looking for this number to probably get covered late. The Philadelphia Phillies have also hit the over in 7 of their last 10 games. I think this number is low. So give me over 7.5 runs in Seattle between the Phils and the M's. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't talk you off an over, especially with the Phillies. The way that they hit and the way that their bullpen has been, their bullpen can definitely blow. We all saw in that game against the Mets where they gave up, 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning. So that combined with the fact that they're one of the better hitting lineups in all of baseball, I certainly wouldn't talk you off of it, especially with a total that low. Because that's another thing. Some of these totals really low, even for pitchers who are not the cream of the crop. And Jason Scott gave us one. The under in the A's and the Tigers, that totals 7. And he still likes the under.
Well, let's talk about that, Chelsea. It's time for your BetQL 5-Star Best Bet. For insight, analysis, historical trends, and more 5-Star Best Bets, download the BetQL app. The Donkster at it again. Jason Scott, an expert, said A's at Tigers under 7. Donkster, what do you say? Huh? You like the over? You're going against Jason Scott. He works for BetMGM. You're sitting alone in the studio eating your oats. The Donkster says Cubs at Padres over 7. Royals at Orioles over 7.5. Chelsea, the Donkster went 2-3 on Friday. And now, once again, we're seeing him not put in the work, be lazy, watch the Kentucky Derby, and then blindly bet overs.
Yeah, you'd think that he would be in his element watching, oh God, what was that horse's name? Rich Strike absolutely dominate. Maybe that would motivate him to actually put a little bit more work into some of his plays. But no, instead he just, whatever, I'll just throw something out there. Hopefully it sticks. I guess we'll see, though. We'll see tomorrow.
Hey, Donkster, did you watch the Derby? He says, I love Red Strike. He was the best looking donkey in the field. You moron, there weren't donkeys racing. It's a horse race. How can you trust a dumb donkster who doesn't know what animals running around the track in Kentucky? For the love of God. No wonder you went 2-3. Focus on
plus,
sports.
The prettiest horse I still think was Zandon. Like the dark horse. Yeah, I thought that one was the prettiest.
It definitely wasn't Rich Strike slobbering all over himself and biting other horses after the race. He was not preening like you might expect.